It's good! Roberto Aguayo. You did it, buddy. You saved your fucking job for one more week. It was beautiful. And you made me call one less game correct. Not good. Not fun. Well, we're into the 14 game weeks of the NFL. This is World's Strongest. I'm Morgan Hickman, and these are week 6 predictions. We're all happy, right? Unless you're a Dolphins fan or a Browns fan or a Panthers fan or a Chargers fan. But hey, things could be looking up. Who knows? Week 5, big things that happen. Broncos lose, unexpected. Who could call that? Eagles lose to the Lions. Who could fucking call that? Lame. Okay. Last night's game was horrible, and it turned good, and it was great. It was one of those so bad it's good games, you know? So I will... NFL, you got lucky. But here's what I'm saying. The primetime games are shit. Horrible selection. And I'll tell you why right here. I think Sunday night is a good example. This past Sunday night, Giants at Packers. Okay. You're taking a playoff team from last year, a historically good playoff team, from the Packers. You take them, and you're like, okay, so you've got a primetime slot. Okay. Packers, they're good. Aaron Rodgers, it'll probably make for a good show. Who do they play? The Giants. They weren't a playoff team. They weren't that even fucking that good last year. My God, it's like I get that there's like there have been good matchups between these two teams, for going on a long time. Kind of a historic NFC rivalry, if you will, but. Come on, guys. In Lambeau too. So that's what I'm talking about. Like you're taking an ex-playoff team and an ex-non-playoff team in the playoff team's place. I don't get the logic there. I don't. And they keep... I mean, okay, so Cardinals and 49ers, that was kind of interesting. Even though, like, if you looked at it from last year, like, no, it's not. It was only interesting because the Cardinals are sucking right now for some weird reason. That should have been a fucking slaughter. And then Bucks at Panthers. Oh, the ex-Super Bowl contender against an ex-non-playoff team at their place. I don't get the logic here. These games are just... they're so stinted to be blowouts. And then, oh God, soon. I mean, week 7, you get Bears at Packers. Are you kidding me, NFL? Texans at Broncos. Like, I guess that one's sort of interesting, but like, and it's either like blowout, games that teams that don't see each other very often, but it's going to be a fucking blowout, and then the other half of the primetime games are like division games. So, like, only a select group of people really care, I feel. We do get some good ones in there, but as we go on, I'll go into, like, the primetime game and then the real primetime game. The game that should be a fucking primetime game. Not always their fault, but some of these are like, how did you fuck this up? Anyway, okay, week 5, in the books. Let's get on to week 6, baby! Real quick, time to have my, time to have an Oregon salad. Real quick, I'm sorry. Remember, totally legal. I am an Oregonian, damn it. All right, week 6. Starting on Thursday, October 13th, we have the Denver Broncos at the San Diego Superchargers. Oh, Chargers. Chargers. Your games are really fun to watch. because I'm not a Charger fan. Oh, the Broncos lost to Atlanta. I would not go so far as to say the defense is like weak or anything. If anything, the problem was the Denver Broncos offense. I think they lost because Matt Ryan had way too much time out on the field, and you guys just couldn't keep up with them. If you had managed to kind of keep up with them, I mean, they only put up 23 points. If you guys had been out there longer for scoring drives, they probably would have maybe only scored about 17. And if you guys had actually scored, that game is winnable. So really, I put that on Broncos offense as to why the Falcons won. The Falcons did come up with a good scheme, which was basically the Patriots from last year's AFC Championship. But hey, it worked. So kudos to them. It is going to make for a very interesting matchup later, but we will get to that. So Thursday night football. And also, Broncos, Coach Kubiak is sick. It's a short week. These things aren't exactly boding well for them. Trevor Siemian, I don't think he is quite ready to go yet. They're at the Chargers. That's why, upset alert, I'm going with the Chargers! That's right. I don't care. You can't blow every game. And I feel like the games that they've blown have all been against pretty good offenses. If they can do... Phillip Rivers deserves a goddamn win. I have grown to like Phillip Rivers quite a lot. Started out as when I started watching football, wasn't a fan of the guy. I've changed. We all change. Phillip Rivers will change. He will win a fucking game. I mean, goddamn, that kicker fucking up that field goal and tie it. What? I don't know. Talk about like shooting yourself in the fucking foot. It was like last night's football game. Insane. But I'm calling it for the Chargers. Chargers get the win. Fuck it. Sunday, October 16th, morning games. We start off with a real good one. Eagles at Redskins. Eagles took their first loss. Went through his first interception. Not the end of the fucking world. Redskins have been playing better. It's at Redskins. And I believe they swept the Eagles last year. I'm going to take the Redskins. Yeah. Philly really needed that game because your schedule was about to get hard. And yeah, you really should have beat the Lions. But hey, the Lions will do that. They'll sting you. Steelers at Dolphins. What needs to be said? Dolphins competing for worst team in the league, even though you just shouldn't be. Honestly, I think it's because you redid your logo and you took away the cool little like cartoon dolphin with this little like helmet. Why? What the fuck would you get rid of that? It was an Ace Ventura. Like, in this thing, it looks fucking stupid. It looks like a gas company. I don't know. And anyway, and the Steelers, yeah, I mean, you don't even need to talk about this. Lock of the week, whatever. Steelers win. Move on. Jags at Bears. This one, I will go with the Jaguars. Not saying they're good or anything, but they did win last week, and they had a bye. So maybe that plus some winning mojo, they can finally get, I mean, if you have any hope, I mean, if they can't beat the Bears right now, like, yeah, they are just toast. So I'll call for the Jags. But this is a throw-up game. These two games, the one I'm about to call right next, are kind of good at like determining who the worst in the league is. So they're sort of interesting, even though I hope to God I don't get stuck with them on Sunday. Browns at Titans. I will go with the Titans. One last week in Miami. They're at home. If you're going to be anyone at home, give those fans something to... Goddamn, you got to reward your fans a little bit. It's the Browns. Who knows who's going to be playing for the Browns? They're just like signing guys off the street. It's crazy. Feel sorry for you guys. Titans win that one. Bengals at Patriots. Bengals, you are disappointing. Disappointing. Just getting whomped by the Cowboys. Like, you didn't even stand a fucking chance. The score is misleading. Yeah, you got stomped. And so what chance, and like, God, what chance you have, like, going to fucking New England then? Patriots. Yeah, picking that. Come on. Niners at the Bills. Gotta go with the Bills. Not much to say here. Niners, complete disarray. Also competing for probably worst team in the league with Sans Navarro Bowman. So I feel for you. And without Navarro Bowman, you will be torn up by LeSean McCoy. So yeah, Bills. Ravens at Giants. This is a good game. This is a very interesting game. This is a good primetime game. Two teams that are like, that didn't make the playoffs, so they're on equal levels, and yet they're up and coming, and they have interesting components, and they have legacies behind them. And you know it's not just going to be a shit show. Well, hopefully. Yeah, like NFL. This is a primetime game. It's just interesting. It'll just be fun. I will go with the Giants. They're fuming after 2 losses on the road against really good teams. This is like a must-win game, I feel. Ravens might be in a little disarray. Just fire the offensive coordinator. Maybe it'll turn out like they did in Buffalo, but I kind of doubt it. That can't work every time, can it? So I will go with the Big Blue. All right. Rams at Lions. Rams, thank you for losing last week. Now the Seattle Seahawks are where they should be, atop the NFC West. A rightful position. I'll go with the Lions, just because they looked good last week. They seem to play way better at home. And I feel like if they can survive the Eagles' defense, they can probably survive the Rams, especially now the Rams are a little dinged up, I believe. Yes, my cat. Ah, this is Zorro. Yes. Do you want to call the next game, Zorro? Okay. So I picked that. Rams, Lions. That one's going to the Lions. Panthers, Saints. I'm going to pick against you right here, honey. Honey bear. Panthers. Disarray. Can't say I feel bad for you. I'm going with the Saints. If anything, God, that loss against the Bucks, that is so rough. Those interceptions by the interception in the end zone by the quarterback, Anderson, was just like, fun game. Feel bad for you, kind of, maybe. Anyway, you've shown that you can be carved up in the back. Just throw it over Kuechly. Don't even fucking try and run it against these guys. Sometimes you got to establish the pass in order to free up the run. That's against certain teams, you just have to do it, and I believe that that's one of those teams. And if anyone can do that, it's Drew Brees. It's at Saints. I'm going with the Saints. Chiefs at Raiders. Afternoon games. So those were the morning games. These are the afternoon games, and so are some interesting ones in the morning. But the afternoon ones, this is like a playoff picture right here. This is like a nice cut of the playoffs. Chiefs-Raiders, divisional game, important. Can the Chiefs get back into a playoff race? They were there last year. They're really quiet after getting swamped by the Steelers, but the Steelers are kind of doing that to everyone. It's just so weird. I don't know how to call the Chiefs. They're just like, they're one of those teams that's like impossible to fucking call their games. I will say they're like, them and the Ravens are just really hard to call. I will go with the Chiefs, though, because sometimes the Raiders, they'll get hot, and then they flub on weird games. You're like, you should have this, right? Like, you beat a good guy, and then you lose to, like, they're kind of like Ram-like in that way, so maybe it's a California thing. So I will go with the Chiefs. Low scoring event. But I could be totally wrong. If the Raiders win this, though, I'm closer and closer to thinking that they're for real. But then again, though, it could just mean that the Chiefs are really bad this year. Anyway, so I will call for the Chiefs, though. I'm taking a risk. I'm going with it, though. I kind of feel like they might pull this one out. They just had a bye, too. Cowboys at Packers. So here we go. These next two games are... Packers looking good, of course, and it's in Lambeau. But I don't think the Packers are looking quite as good, maybe, as they should. What am I saying? Cowboys are fucking, they're for real. I was hesitant to believe. Now I believe. But you know what? I love it. The tests keep on getting bigger. And what a test. But guess what? I'm calling it for the Cowboys. Yep. Going with the Cowboys. The boys. You gonna hang out with your little girlfriend? You get drunk with the boys. And I'm going with the boys. I'm going with Senior Cowboys. Just because I don't know. They're just amped up right now. I feel like they're a bit more amped up than the Packers will be. The Packers are used to winning against the lesser teams. They only lose to like the elite ones. I think they might be taken by surprise. I know that they're going to be ready for Ezekiel Elliott, but will they be able to stop it? And hey, maybe oh my God, buddy. Maybe Dak can, sting him in the back. In the secondary, I mean. So, yeah. Upset. But I'm looking forward. That is going to be a good game. Ooh, it's going to be a good game. It's too bad that it's at the same time as this next game, which is clearly the fucking game of the week. Falcons at Seahawks. Ooh. So, like I said, they beat the Broncos. Like I also said, I think it was because the Broncos had a bad offense. They played really good. They jumped out. That Beasley, I believe, defensive lineman, was sacking. He never gets sacks, though, and he did it against a fucking, super rookie that just looks scared. Our guys are, they're solidifying. I don't want to call them good yet. I'm not saying that, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as what happened to the Broncos. Maybe this guy gets a sack or two. Buddy, you're pissing me off now. So, we have a good defense like the Broncos, but we have some the Broncos don't have, and that's a great offense, I think. I mean the Seahawks, sorry. I'm going with Seattle. I know. The Falcons are for real. I'm not saying they're not. We got the bye. We're feeling good. We've been waiting for a test. This is the first good team the Seahawks have really faced. The first, playoff, I think, team. Sorry, Rams. But I will go with Seattle. Oh, these games are going to be so good. I cannot wait. Prime time. I mean, that's the thing. Cowboys-Packers, that's not prime time? I can kind of understand why you didn't go with that, because honestly, actually, I take that back, though. Judging from last year, because no one could see Dak Prescott doing what he's doing, or Ezekiel doing what he's doing. So I can understand why this wouldn't, because, normally I'd be like, oh, this is going to be a whomping. The Cowboys are, sick old Tony Romo going back into Lambeau, where they, at the Cowboys at their best in the last 5 years couldn't win the playoffs. Granted, I did think Dez Bryant made that catch, though. I watched that game, and I thought he made it. Anyway, we go to Sunday night. Not a great game. Colts and Texans, two teams that, there should be a new rule. If the leading team from your division doesn't have more wins than like the team in other division with like the second or even third most, you shouldn't be allowed in the fucking playoffs. The AFC South ruins the AFC playoffs every year because it's a free fucking win. Granted, like the NFC East was pretty much like that last year with the Redskins. That doesn't happen that often. This is just, I don't know. It's just fucking stupid. Like, it's such a bad division. No offense, but I mean, if you're like a fan of those teams, but you gotta admit, I mean, Texans, yeah, paying that Brockweiler that much money maybe wasn't a great idea. He's only played like 7 fucking games, but we'll see. Like, he beat the Patriots. No, the Broncos beat the Patriots. Anyway, I will take the Texans though, because like I said earlier in the season or whatever you call it, one of my earlier segments, they'll be able to beat bad teams. I think like the Texans will just beat bad teams, and then whenever they face like elite competition, they'll just get fucking stomped like they did this past Sunday against the Vikings. Shush. So I will go with the Texans. I'm not saying this could be an interesting game because I think that both teams aren't that good. So hopefully it will be interesting. But it certainly isn't going to be like cool. Like, oh, playoff pick, like, no. I mean, it's like, oh, which of these teams will, go to the playoffs and then get beat in the fucking wild card. Anyway, so Texans. Okay, that's it for the Sunday. This is October 16th. We move on to Monday Night Football, October 17th. Jets at Cardinals. This is a tough one to call. It's a pretty good game. I wish it was at the Jets. I still think this is a dumb idea, though, by primetime, because it's like, why? It's like, okay, when you look at last year, like and then you make this schedule, it's like, well, the Cardinals would obviously be the favorite to win. Well, then let's have it at their place so they have an even better chance of winning. Like, I just, like, yeah, have it at the Jets. Like, that would be a fucking great game to watch. Cardinals at Jets right now. Now it's Cardinals. I will have to go with the Cardinals. I want to see the Jets win. I think they can. If they hadn't gotten so banged up on fucking Sunday, I was going to call it for them. But they lost that, like, Mangold guy. They're just, I don't know. Still no, like, fucking Decker. It's hard for me to pick them. I wish you well, guys. I hope you prove me wrong. But I'm going with the goddamn Cardinals. What can I do? All right. That sorts it out for now. Week 6. Good week. Some interesting games. Definitely 2 awesome games. In the afternoon, week 7 is going to be really good. Week 7 is going to be awesome. Well, pretty awesome. Anyway, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that in a week. Okay, until next time, World's Strongest Comics, World's Strongest Reviews, Morgan Hickman. Follow at Morgan Hickman 64, all one word, on the Twitter thing. I guess subscribe, comments, love those. Until next time, NFL!